Baby cakes, you just don't know what's going on, friends. Welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host Jan. I hope you, my sweet friend, are doing well. I really do hope that. Welcome back to the Stamford Bridge studio, and welcome back to Chelsea news, of which we are discussing Chelsea news today. Lots, actually. Kendry Paez, the wonder kid. Chelsea seemingly won the race for another elite young player. Could Christian Pulisic be off to Real Madrid? We'll talk about that a little bit. The Eden Hazard replacement. Could he be the Eden Hazard replacement? Lol. Also, we could talk about Tottenham a little bit. I was going to talk about the Mason Mount contract situation, but I just got to wait until there's a bit more developments. So we'll park that. Maybe give a little nod to N'Golo Kante as well. Thank you for joining me, and thank you for your interactions. Most appreciated. A quick like on the video is a great way of showing your sweet love, and you're welcome to subscribe too, if you want to. Just real quickly, and to start off, N'Golo Kante, reportedly, so saith Matt Law, on the excellent London is Blue podcast, has spoken of how N'Golo Kante is looking very good in training. Now, in these turbulent times, when we're looking for something to grasp onto and get excited about, there you go. There's something. N'Golo Kante looking to sign a new deal. Matt Law reminded us of that press conference when Big Tommy Took said, he's our Neymar, he's our Mbappe, he's our Messi, he's our Van Dijk. Van Dijk looks pretty pony at the moment, but you know what I mean. And he wants him on the pitch all the time. Chelsea are being very meticulously careful with the reintegration and the rehabilitation of N'Golo Kante into this Chelsea team, attempting to ensure that he does not have a relapse of injury. If he's in form, and if he keeps himself fit and can play at the top level for another year or two, then he could be invaluable in this vulnerable transitional phase of Chelsea Football Club. In the same way we gave Thiago Silva another year to keep that professionalism around, N'Golo Kante can maybe lead by example a little bit more with his football intelligence and tenacity on the pitch. You would ruddy hope. So shout out for that. Positive. Let me know what you think about N'Golo Kante, because in theory, right, in theory, the perfect partner for Enzo Fernandez, so fingers crossed. Right, before we talk about Tottenham, let's talk about some news. First, before we talk about this wonder kid and then Tottenham, let's talk about Christian Pulisic. He does look likely to go. Great player, huge marketability, Captain America, explosive. For a period of time, looked like he could prove to be that guy for Chelsea, talismanic. Under Frank Lampard, Project Restart, he was mustard, man. His next level, he was gravy. He was all the condiments that represent good descriptions, if there is any more. I'm just going to jump onto an article here from The Hard Tackle. Oh. La Liga champions Real Madrid have reportedly set their sights on Christian Pulisic amid his struggles at Chelsea, according to a report by Spanish outlet Defensa Central. Christian Pulisic has popped up on the radar of Real Madrid. The reigning La Liga champions are keen on signing a wide attacker in the summer transfer window, and they've set their sights on the Chelsea forward. They just don't use Eden Hazard. It's so sad. This isn't a video talking about Eden Hazard, but five goals up at Anfield. You're like cooking. Bring on Hazard, Carlo. He dances in Anfield. The muscle memory will come back. I love Carlo Ancelotti, but come on, bro. Like, look how they massacred my boy. Christian Pulisic joined Chelsea from Borussia Dortmund in a deal worth 64 million euros 4 years ago, but he has blown hot and cold since arriving at Stamford Bridge in July 2019. So you would have signed him in the January and loaned him back for 6 months. Is that what happened? I think so. Highly rated attacker following his stint with Borussia Dortmund, the 24-year-old was supposed to be Eden Hazard's successor. But the USMNT International has failed to stamp his authority, with fitness issues also plaguing him. We knew he had fitness issues when we bought him. We just hoped he'd grow out of them, I suppose. The player has managed only 799 minutes of game time this season. It's not actually that bad, considering. I think it's more than I thought it was. Securing a paltry tally of 1 goal and 2 assists in 21 appearances. But stocks remain high with Real Madrid among his prospective suitors. Well, he's a high-octane guy, he can do it. We've seen, this is like with the Chelsea attackers, just because a player hasn't been, for example, scoring and assisting loads, doesn't mean they're not worth something. I kind of use the example of Noni Madueke. We bought him from PSV, 30 million euros, whatever, quite a lot for a 20-year-old. But we looked at the footballer, how he's built and what he can do with a football, his talent, and that's what you're buying. You're not buying the current dominant stats of goals and assists. You're buying, what can this guy do with a football at his feet, and how can we apply that to our football team? Real Madrid will likely enter the market for a wide attacker in the summer. That because Eden Hazard, Asensio face uncertain futures at the Santiago Bernabeu, while Hazard has flopped since arriving from Chelsea. We made a lot of money from him, but it's still sad. With at least one player likely to leave, the Merengos would like to dip their toes into the market. Several players, including Garnacho from United, who does look a player to be fair, has emerged on Real Madrid's radar. And Pulisic, also a viable target despite his recent struggles at Chelsea. And the Chelsea are ready to cash in on him. It's the same as Ziyech, really, isn't it? The left winger will sell as Pulisic, the right winger will sell as Ziyech. I would argue Havertz isn't entirely safe as well. So he showed his quality during the FIFA World Cup, making his mark for USA, of course, but it will be not surprising to see Real Madrid be wary of the last deal with Chelsea. Nonetheless, it looks like the reigning La Liga champions. Well, also, they were buying Eden Hazard coming off his greatest season for Chelsea in terms of his goal involvements. He was involved with 49% of our Premier League goal involvements. He was clutch in the Europa League final. He was playing well for Belgium, and they knew Eden Hazard was like a Premier League great. So despite having 12 months left in the deal, and everyone knew he loved burgers. So that's why they were paying silly. They will not pay silly money for Pulisic. Chelsea are flogging, Werner we sold for like 28 million. Do you know what I mean? He will not be expensive. I guess he'll go. Let me know what you think about Pulisic. Let's move on. Alrighty then, Kendry Paez, the 15-year-old midfield maestro. We're closing in on the midfielder, says Fabrizio Romano. Chelsea are reportedly closing in on the transfer of Ecuadorian wonderkid midfielder Kendry Paez. According to Fabrizio Romano, the youngster is a terrific prospect. And looks like he was be the latest big talent on his way to Stamford Bridge under this ambitious new ownership. Bang, bang. So Fabrizio tweets, exclusive, Chelsea are closing in on the verbal agreement with Independiente del Valle, to sign Ecuadorian gem Kendry Paez. Deal close to be completed. The midfielder was born in 2007. 2007. I was off drinking somewhere at a ditch in 2007. One of the best talents in South America. Kendry will be able to join Chelsea when he turns 18, so it's playing ahead. Looking at the transfer marked, yeah, he can play central midfield, attacking midfield, and he's left-footed. And he looks pretty good, to be honest. I don't know much about him, but this is just furthermore of the superstar team of tomorrow, Project 2030. These men just going absolutely crazy. It's so hard because Chelsea, it's so hard to envision because Chelsea are building this incredible vision of buying the best talent and being the team for tomorrow, but just not being the team for the now. The team for the now is pain. But they're fortunately, good businessmen, they can look beyond. what's happening right now. And they're like, over there, you see over that hill, somewhere over the rainbow, Premier Leagues, Champions League, consecutive trophy wins with our new exciting young team. So Chelsea played speaking of not good teams right now, Chelsea are playing Tottenham. Now, I was just listening to Athletic podcast talk about how Tottenham hate playing Chelsea. Supposedly, I forget, the Athletic, the Tottenham correspondent for the Athletic was saying that the Tottenham fans have the biggest inferiority complex when they play Chelsea, and they hate playing them more than Arsenal. Which surprises me that they hate us playing us more than North London Derby. But then again, we have slapped him about for many years. And of course they have an inferiority complex because we've won multiple European Cups and are the pride of London. So there is that. They speak about perhaps Antonio Kante not staying past the summer. I have a sinking gut feeling that should Antonio Kante leave in the summer, which is likely, he just doesn't look happy. But then again, when does he ever look happy? That we could complete the Chelsea hat-trick and Thomas Tuchel could end up there. We know he wants to work in London. We know the facilities at Tottenham are incredible. We know Tuchel doesn't necessarily demand big signings all the time, which Levy would absolutely love. We know that Thomas Tuchel said he supported Tottenham as a kid when he was managing Dortmund. He was like, yeah, well, like the team he followed was Tottenham, so he's clearly got some form of affiliation, though. I think he'd be careful what he says. Even if he goes to Spurs, he won't say like, "Oh, I've always loved Tottenham," because he does have he does have a connection with Chelsea now because he loved working at Chelsea for a time at least. But I digress. Chelsea are going to play Antonio Conte's Tottenham, who sit fourth in the Premier League in the top four. But I don't think it's a false position. Well, I do think it's a false position. I think they're not very good, and I don't think they play very well. I don't think Kante will be there. He's recovering from a medical issue, so it will be like his assistant, who's apparently, whenever he's taking games instead of Kante, he's won 6 out of 6. So if anything, I'm not sure. I think we probably don't want that guy to be on the sideline, and we probably want Kante to be there. They're going to play a back three, of course, and I think it was Matt Law who said it on London is Blue, how he would like it if we matched up against Tottenham with a back three. And to be honest, every time we've done that against Conte's Tottenham, we've always played really well. Tuchel had great success playing a back three against. We always outplayed them, and I think generally they struggle. They struggle against back threes, and our back five would be better than theirs. For example, we would have Wesley Fofana and the right centre-back, who's seemingly back and fit and ready to go again. Of course, we would have the rested and ready Thiago Silva in the middle. And then you'd have Benoit Badiashile on the left. Like, that's a formidable French-speaking back three. And because of, Azpi's concussion, you'd have Reece James right wing back, so he could cook the game, run the game at right wing back. You'd have the returning Ben Chilwell, of course, a really good left wing back that can make those inverted striker runs, more so because he's got a back three behind him and he's not playing conventional left back. So you get the best out of Chile and James at wing backs because they just have more license. And then you put a partner of Enzo in the midfield 2, or you could go midfield 3, but I'd probably say midfield 2. You'd go Enzo, Zakaria, or Loftus-Cheek. Or if you play a midfield 3, you could do Zakaria and Loftus-Cheek. But I think you just do 2. I'd go Zakaria and Enzo if Zakaria is indeed fit. And then the front 3, I would have João Felix behind 2 forwards. Maybe if we're going to play on the counter-attack, you could play João Felix behind Mudryk, and then if you want a proper centre-forward, you go for Fofana over Havertz, although as much as Havertz is frustrating, he does sort of play the best with the other players. Like, he gets the ball more, but maybe because he gets the ball more, we play worse because he comes deep and he wants the ball to feet. Whereas someone like Datro Fofana would play as a centre-forward, run in behind, hold up the ball, and link it to runners like Mudryk, in theory. Now, some of you guys might still be calling for Aubameyang. There's a lot of revisionism going on there, and this is not a cuss to Aubameyang. I don't think he's done anything particularly wrong. But yeah, we were at the article yesterday. You might have watched my previous upload. I suggest you do if you haven't. Yeah, the analysts and the data at Chelsea say that Datro Fofana basically trumps Aubameyang. And they analyse the metrics and training for what they want in the game. And Datro Fofana is doing the stuff they want better than Aubameyang is. But if we play that, I think we beat Tottenham. But will Graham Potter stick to his back four system and just try and find continuity? Bearing in mind, we're not conceding loads of goals. Like, we're not, and we are generating XG. But will he flinch? Will he go back free? Or will he try and stick to a back four to find some continuity? You decide, and you tell me down in the comments. I'll wrap up here. Thanks for joining me. Let me know what you think. I'll read the comments. Thank you for liking, subscribing, and all this fun stuff. I think we're about to tick over to 170k if we haven't already. I'll have to check that out. Yeah, really appreciate you guys stopping by, and I'll see you very soon. Peace.